All right, now we're going to talk about squares and square roots. What a square is basically a number, which is the base, so that's the base, and the square is the exponent, which is right up there. I'm just going to put exp for exponent. What an exponent tells you is this, is to take the base and multiply the base by the base. And I'm doing it 2 times because the exponent is 2. So it's 4 times 4, which is 16. So 4 squared is 16. If I had 5 squared, so 5, it would be 5 times 5, which 5 times 5 is 25. Don't get confused and think of this as 2 times 5. That's not right. It's 5 times 5. So if I had, let's say, 5 cubed, which we're going to do in another video, but 5 cubed would be 5 times 5 times 5, which is 25, times 5, which is 125. Okay, so that's what a square is. What a square root is, so a square root's a little bit different. So a square root would look like this. Okay, so if I say to you, I need the square root of 100, it's doing the opposite. So the opposite is this. What two numbers, identical numbers, when you multiply them together equal 100? Well, that would be 10 times 10. So the square root of 100 is 10. Let's look at a different way to doing this, though. So if you don't know exactly, okay, I know 10 times 10 is 100. If you didn't do that, you could do this by prime factorization. So if I take 100 and let's do prime factorization, 2 times 50. Let's do, so 2 is a perfect prime number there. 50 would be, let's do 5 times 10. So we have 5, and then 10 we have 2 times 5. Okay, so let me just clear the slide for us. So it'd be 2 squared times 5 squared would equal 100, because 4 times 25 is 100. So what you do is you take half of what you have here. So I have 2 squared, so half of the 2 squared is just 1 2 times half of the 5 squared is just 1 5. So 2 times 5 equals 10. Let's try another square root. So if I had the square root of, let's say, 400, okay, the answer is 20, because 20 times 20 is 400. But if you didn't know that, we could do prime factorization again. So if we got 400, I could do 2 times 200. There is a prime right there. I could do 2 times 100. There's another prime. I could do 2 times 50. There's another prime. And 50, I could do, let's do 2 times 25. There's another one. And whoops, I kind of ran out of room, but the 25 would be 5 squared because it's 2 5s. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 to the 4th power times, we got 5 squared down there. So I have 5 squared. So like before, let me just clear the screen to make it a little bit neater. So we have 2 to the 4th power times 5 squared. And again, we want the square root of 400. So if I look at this, I take half, so it's 2 squared times, what's a half of this, is just 5. So 2 times 2 is 4 times 5 equals 20. So the square root of 400 is 20.